Okay, welcome everybody to CAD Lesson 2. During this lesson we're going to create another part. We're going to go to File, going to go to New, click on Part and then click on OK. Now please keep in mind, if you haven't installed the Automotive templates yet, that you do so as quickly as possible, and if you run into any problems, please contact your teacher. For this assignment we're going to use mid-plane, extrude, and pay close attention to the planes we'll be using during the modeling. We're going to use the top plane and we're going to use it twice, and we're going to draw both parts separately. This sounds difficult, but you'll see in a bit what I mean. So we're going to draw a boss extrude on the top surface. Now always draw from the origin, but for now I'm going to begin with a line which is just somewhere around here, and I'm going to attach to the origin by using a relation. So I'm going to hold down Ctrl, select the origin, select the line, and select the midpoint. Once I've done this, the line is fixed with its center in the origin. Now if I make the line bigger or smaller, then it moves, but it always moves from the center, which is the origin. Now I'm going to add a dimension, which in this case is 60, and then I'm going to continue drawing the rest. So I'm just going to crudely draw the rest of the part. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'll be adding dimensions, relations, etc. Okay, so first we're going to add the angle dimension. This line is under 45 degrees. Adding an angle dimension is easy. You just first click on one line, then click on the other line, and you get the angle, which in this case is 45 degrees. Then we're going to add the outer dimension, which is 65. Now this messes things up a little bit. No problem, you can just move it around. Something like this happens, just move the sketch around. Then add another dimension, which is 15. Now what you can see now, that's the top part, the top half is fully defined and the bottom part is still undefined. This line can still be moved. Now we can fix this by adding extra dimensions, an extra angle dimension, but this is not what we want, because when we change this dimension from 15 to 20, the top half changes, but the bottom half doesn't. This is not preferred, so we're going to change this back. We're going to remove these two dimensions and add a relation. We're going to do that using a centerline. Draw it from here to the center of the other line. We're going to select the angled line, hold down Ctrl, select the center line, and select the other blue line, which is undefined. Then if we select symmetric, we use symmetry for this line and that line. Now if we change the dimension from 50 to 20, the bottom half changes with it, which is what we want. Okay, now we're going to add a circle. Make sure you don't add the circle from the center, but you add it off center. The reason for that is that we want to add another dimension. So we're going to add a dimension from the center of the circle to the outer edge. This should be 30 millimeters. The diameter of the circle is 35, and now this is done, we can draw the slot right here using the normal lines tool. Let's try that again. Sometimes it auto snaps on one of the four corners of the circle. If that happens, just try again. Then we're going to add a dimension of 10 millimeters. As you can see now, it's still blue, the part can still move up and down and left and right. So first let's hold that up and down movement by adding another relation. I'm going to select this line, I'm going to hold down Ctrl, select the center line, select the bottom line, and once again select symmetric. Now we can move it left and right, but not up and down. To make sure it cannot move left and right, we want to add the dimension of 38.3 as specified in the drawing from the outer edge here to this line here. So we're going to click Smart Dimension, click the outer edge, and select this line. Now what happens, SolidWorks automatically gives the dimension from the center of the circle to the outer edge. No problem, just put it down, select whatever dimension is given, and if you want to change this, just click on the dimension, and on the left side you'll see options appearing. Now select the second tab, leader, and here at the bottom we can select the minimum dimension from the edge of the circle, center dimension going from the edge to the center, and the maximum going from the maximum outer dimension of the edge and the other edge. This is the one we want, so leave it at maximum, click OK, and change this dimension to 38.3 and click OK. Now we're almost done. We cannot make an extrude yet. First have to remove these two parts of this circle in order to make sure that's one continuous part, because now we have several enclosed sections. We do that using the trim feature. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. If I hold down the left mouse button and move, you'll see a gray edge appearing. If I hold down the mouse and go through sketch line, it will automatically trim the sketch line. You can do the same here. Then if I zoom out again, click on OK, you can see the sketch is finished now. We can exit the sketch. And now we're automatically back in the bus extrude option, because we selected way at the start that we wanted to make an extrude on the top plane. Now we're going to add the thickness of 30, and before we click OK, change the option from blind to midplane. So remember, we're going to use midplane here. You'll see why in a second. If I click OK now, if I go to the top view or the top plane, you'll see that it's still in the center of the part. This is what we want, because now we're going to make the second part. And when we make the second part, which is of a different thickness, it will always remain in the center. So select the top part and click extrude, and then go to the top view again using the view toolbar. Zoom out a bit. Now what I'm going to do now is a little bit different. I'm going to start with a center line, draw it from here to there, and I'm going to continue with a normal line, and I'm only going to draw half of the part, not the complete part, only half. The reason for this is afterwards we're going to mirror this across the center line. So we're going to add dimensions again. The length is 135. The width here from this point to the center line is 20, but the complete width, as stated in the drawing, is 40. If you select the center line, SolidWorks will automatically snap between the half and the full dimension. This is because SolidWorks knows, hey, here the user has selected a center line, so he will probably be working on a mirror or a revolve. So we usually apply the full dimension, which in this case is 40. Do the same with the other edge. It automatically snaps to the full dimension because we previously showed that this is what we wanted. I'm going to click on OK. I'm going to add the angle here, which is 45 degrees. And we're going to add the length, which should be 8. Now we can add the mirror feature. Select the entities we want to mirror. Make sure the copy tick mark is on, and we're going to mirror them across this edge. Click on OK. Now what we want to do before we continue is first close this sketch. From this edge, the sketch is still open, it's not closed yet. So pick another line, connect the two dots, and make sure the sketch is closed. Now the only thing we need to do is add a circle to create the hole. The circle has a diameter of 80 millimeters, and the center dimension should be 150. If you select the outer edge of the circle, you will automatically get the center dimension. Now if we exit the sketch, we will once again continue with the bus extrude feature. Now if you were to select the blind feature with 12 millimeters, the part wouldn't look the same as in the example. So once again we switch blind to midplane, and then we'll get the part as shown in the example. Now the only thing we need to add now is the chamfer. And a chamfer is an angled edge. We're going to do that by going to fillet here and clicking on the little tab. And here we have the chamfer option. Both the fillet and the chamfer option can be used without using a sketch. So I can select the chamfer function immediately, select the chamfer size, 4 millimeters, at 45 degrees, which is usually the angle of a chamfer. Here I can select full preview, and then I can select edges. And these edges will be replaced either by fillet or a chamfer. Then I can click OK, and the part is done. Thank you for watching. Try drawing the other parts on your own. If you run into any problems, please contact your teacher.